Philadelphia Eagles. Now, as much for people that know me, know I'm a Washington fan. I grew up, 25 minutes from FedEx Field, which is not even called FedEx Field anymore. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called Commanders Field or something. So I preface that by saying it pains me to say this, but this is a big year for the Philadelphia Eagles. Not because of how bad they played last year, especially defensively. They were horrible last year. Now, I know that they have a new offensive or defensive coordinator. They still have Nick Sirianni, which is kind of confusing. But this is a big year for the Philadelphia Eagles because, simple as it is, they have Super Bowl aspirations and expectations. The NFC is the weaker division. In fact, when you look at the NFC, I can only really see 3 teams that I think are legitimate Super Bowl caliber teams, and the Philadelphia Eagles are one of them. You have arguably the best wide receiver duo in Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. You still have Dallas Goedert at the tight end position. You get Saquon Barkley, who is, when healthy, widely considered one of the best running backs in the league, along or behind one of the best offensive lines, whether we talk about Lane Johnson, whether we talk about Jordan Matilla. Like, this team is going to be great. I will say this, though. They got a lot of acquisition on the defensive side of the ball as well. I mean, you have Devin White that they got from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Josh Sweat is still there. Nakobe Dean. Darius Slay. You got C.J. Garner-Johnson back from the 49ers. Not 49ers, from the Lions. I'm sorry. I'm still shocked James Bradbury's still there, but hey, especially how bad he played last year. You have the big boys in Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. I forgot about Nolan Smith Jr. still there as well on the edge. This team is great. At least this team has the names to be great. And Brandon Graham, I forgot about him, but he's getting up there. He's yeah. I think the question that's going to be answered this year. I'm not saying that you have to win a Super Bowl, but you have to look like a Super Bowl caliber team. And you have to at least, in my opinion, get to the North NFC Championship. This roster is an NFL Championship roster. The question that will be answered, because I think that people are asking this question. It's not as loud as you would think, but people are asking this question. Is Jalen Hurts a good quarterback? Now, you're probably thinking that, like, wait, what? Jalen Hurts, the same Jalen Hurts that took the Eagles to the Super Bowl, the same Jalen Hurts that, was electrifying, like that Jalen Hurts? Yeah, that Jalen Hurts. That question is there because the Jalen Hurts that we're seeing sort of mirrors the Jalen Hurts in Alabama. The reason why people were questioning if Jalen Hurts is even a NFL quarterback is because of his inconsistency. He was like that at Alabama. He was like that at Oklahoma. When Jalen Hurts is playing at his best, you get what you got, 2 years ago, when you get Jalen Hurts and this Eagles team, which was by far the most stacked team and a historic defense, might I add. They had a historically great defense. But that team, the Eagles team, made it to the championship. Well, what happens when the defense didn't play as good as you thought they would the next year? Well, this team was horrible. Jalen Hurts has all the attributes to be a good quarterback. And he may be a good quarterback. But what I'm saying is, now the expectation, after what we saw, 2 years ago, and after we saw last year, the expectations are extremely high. And if you can't get it done with this roster, and I'm not even saying win a Super Bowl, but at least compete for one, then I promise you the questions and the critiques are going to be much louder for Jalen Hurts. Because Jalen Hurts, when he was at Alabama, when he was at Oklahoma, he showed flashes that he was the best quarterback in the nation. But it's like this, man. It's like Jalen Hurts' college career was like a canyon, like a mountain. It has some high highs, but when it was low, it is low. And this roster is going to prove to you if he is a good quarterback or not. Because this roster, it is hard to lose with this roster. Now, I am interested to see how he plays and how this offensive line plays without Jason Kelce, who obviously retired. But it's going to be extremely difficult to fail with this roster, especially in the NFC East, especially in the NFC in total. So I think the people that are questioning if Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback or not, you're going to get your answer this year. I'll save that for when we talk about them. But yeah, you're going to get your answer this year. I think this team. Oh shoot, I forgot Kenny Pickett was on the Eagles. But I think that this team has all the components of competing for a Super Bowl. I would be shocked if they don't at least make it to, or if they're not in the top 3 teams in the NFL or in at least the NFC. I'd be shocked. I think there's a lot of aspiration and there's a lot of promise for this team. And outside of injuries, because obviously you can't predict injuries, outside of injuries, you're going to know a lot about Jalen Hurts and this roster come this season. I'll just say that. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.